Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. You know, I've been following General Hospital for a good many years now, and let me tell you, these days my heart's just pounding every time Sonny Corinthos comes on the screen. That man used to be so sharp, so in control, the kind of guy who could handle anything life threw at him. But lately, it's breaking my old heart to see him like this. He's acting downright dangerous, folks. Paranoid, snapping at people, not thinking straight at all. I watch him glaring at Rick Lansing and I think to myself, Sonny, what in the world is going on in that head of yours? It looks just like his bipolar medication isn't doing its job anymore. Or worse, maybe somebody's been messing with it. And right now, my money's on that slick Jen Sidwell. That fella gives me the creeps, I'll tell you. Sidwell's got all kinds of connections, especially when it comes to medicine and drugs. Him and that shady boss of his, Ross Cullum, they've got their hands on stuff most folks shouldn't even know about. The way Sonny's been spiraling, the suspicion, the outbursts, it sure feels like someone's been slowly poisoning him, tampering with those pills bit by bit. And the scary part, it wouldn't be the first time Sidwell pulled something like this. Remember what he did to poor Maxie Jones? That sweet girl ended up in a coma for months because he slipped some strange enzyme into her face cream. Can you believe that? Just her regular moisturizer. Then there's Anna Devane, who they kept drugged up with hallucinations while they held her. And don't get me started on Drew and Jack Brennan. They got hit with some kind of untraceable paralytic from Sidwell too. Even Britt Westbourne's Huntington's medication came through his dirty hands. So yeah, swapping out Sonny's bipolar meds, that'd be right up his alley. Probably has someone on the inside at the hospital pharmacy helping him. What really gets me is wondering who else is in on it. They say it's somebody nobody would suspect. Lord, that kind of betrayal just turns my stomach. Sonny's been through so much in his life, lost so many people he loves, fought battles most of us couldn't imagine. He deserves better than some coward sneaking around with his medicine. I sit there in my chair every afternoon, shaking my head, and talking back to the TV like a fool. Come on, Sonny, open your eyes. But that's what makes this show so real, doesn't it? The good guys struggle, the bad ones play dirty, and we can't help but care with all our hearts. I'm telling you, if they don't figure this out soon, I don't know what I'll do with myself. Anyway, that's what's got me all worked up this week. How about you? You feeling the same worry for Sonny, or do you think he's just losing it on his own? Either way, I can't wait to see what happens next. These poor Charles stories sure know how to keep an old man like me coming back for more. You know, the deeper I get into this General Hospital storyline, the more it tugs at my heart and gets my mind spinning. Sure, some of Sonny's mistrust toward Rick Lansing is coming from those mixed up misunderstandings with Ethan Lovett. That poor kid's head is full of confusion right now, and it's spilling over, making Sonny even more paranoid than he already is. But let me tell you something, Ethan isn't just sulking around or letting things happen by chance. No, sir. That young man is sharp, and he's cooking up his own plan to get even with Sidwell. I can feel it in my bones every time he's on screen. Sidwell has done that whole family dirty, and it makes my blood run hot just thinking about it. He hurt Ethan's mother, Holly Sutton, in ways no son should ever have to see. Then there's Sasha Corbin. His sister, that sweet girl, has been through enough already, and Sidwell's fingerprints are all over her pain too. And between you and me, I've got this heavy feeling in my gut that he might even be the one behind poor Delilah Wilson's death. When a man like Sidwell starts destroying the people you love most, it lights a fire inside you that doesn't go out easy. I reckon Ethan's been carrying that fire, and he's fixing to strike back at Sidwell in his own clever way. Part of me is rooting for the boy, even if it's dangerous. But here's what really keeps me up at night worrying about Sonny. Sidwell already has him right where he wants him. He's got Sonny under his thumb, and he's holding those awful pictures over Mayor Laura Collins too, you know, the ones showing Henry Dalton dead in the trunk of her car. That's some cold, dirty blackmail if I ever saw it. Laura's a good woman trying to do right by the town, and here's this snake using her pain against her. But with Sonny, it's even more sinister. Messing with his bipolar medication isn't just about hurting him, it's about controlling him completely. If Sidwell can make Sonny's mood swing wild and make him unstable, then Sonny becomes easy to push around. He gets unpredictable, says things he might not mean, does things that look suspicious. And that's exactly what Sidwell wants. A man who's not thinking straight is the perfect person to frame for whatever crime comes along. Plant a little evidence here, drop a rumor there when Sonny's not himself, it all sticks too easy. I sit in my chair yelling at the TV, Sonny, don't let them do this to you, because I've seen him fight through so much in his life. He's lost family, survived wars in the streets, built himself up from nothing. He doesn't deserve some outsider from who knows where playing games with his mind and his pills like this. What gets me most is how quiet and sneaky it all is. Sidwell doesn't come at you with guns blazing. He works in the shadows, a little tweak to the medicine here, a little push on the paranoia there. Before you know it, the strongest man in Port Charles starts looking like the dangerous one. And with Ethan's own grudges mixing into the pot, it's making everything even more tangled. I keep wondering when somebody, maybe Ethan, maybe someone else, is finally going to connect all these dots and expose what's really happening. These stories sure do feel real sometimes, don't they? They show you how one bad person with the right dirty tricks can turn a good man's whole world upside down. I'm glued to every episode, hoping Sonny fights through this fog and comes back stronger. Hoping Ethan's revenge plan works out without costing him everything. And hoping Laura finds a way to shake off that blackmail before it destroys her too. My old heart gets so invested, I tell you. Some afternoons I'm smiling, some I'm shaking my head, but I'm always coming back tomorrow to see what happens next. How about you, friend? You think Ethan's going to be the one who finally brings Sidwell down, or is this mess going to get a whole lot darker before the truth comes out? Either way, I'm right here watching with you, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. These characters feel like old neighbors after all these years, and when they hurt, I hurt right along with them. You know, the more I turn this whole mess over in my mind, the angrier and sadder I get. Ross Cullum isn't just some background player. That man is rotten to the core. He's been quietly using all those fancy WSB resources for his own dirty side projects, things that have nothing to do with real government work. Take that device they planted right up in Sonny's penthouse. It came so close to killing poor Michael Corinthos. Michael's a fine young man with a family who loves him. And just thinking about how we almost lost him because of their games still makes my chest feel tight. Sonny isn't foolish. He knows exactly what's going on. He's figured out that Cullum and Sidwell are thick as thieves. In fact, Cullum is the big boss, the one giving Sidwell his orders. So it doesn't shock me one bit that the two of them would team up to tamper with Sonny's bipolar medication, using every sneaky connection they have inside General Hospital. They've got people on the inside, they've got the drugs, and they've got the perfect cover. It's cold, calculated, and pure evil. Why go through all this trouble instead of just sending a gunman? Because Sonny knows too much. He's seen their faces, he's heard their secrets, and he's dangerous to them as long as his mind is clear. A bullet would be too loud, too obvious, and it would bring the whole town looking their way. But slowly breaking him down with fake pills that lets them control him, make him look crazy, turn his own friends against him, and set him up to take the blame for whatever crimes they want to hide. They can make Sonny seem dangerous and unstable whenever it suits them. It's the perfect trap. I sit in my favorite chair every afternoon, shaking my head and talking right back at the screen like the characters can hear me. Sonny, open your eyes, son. They're playing you. It hurts to watch a strong, proud man like him being slowly torn apart by these shadows. He's fought so many battles in his life, buried people he loved, protected his family with everything he had. He doesn't deserve this kind of backstabbing cowardice. How about you, my friend? You think Sonny's going to catch on before it's too late? Or are we in for even darker days ahead? Either way, I'll be right here watching with you, cheering them on and hoping for the best. These Port Charles days sure do keep life interesting, don't they? Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.